Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest and greatest episode of Game Rivals. I'm your lonely host, Maximilian X, coming to you from the internet. I hope you're all doing well, rivals. I'm coming to you with the latest news and my opinions on these topics. So, I hope you had a great 2 weeks. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. And I hope that with this new episode, I can inform you on what's going on in the gaming industry and more. So let's not dilly dally anymore and jump straight into things. The first news story that I want to talk about is about a game that was announced back in, I want to say 2021. And that is a game that was announced at E3 called The Day Before. Now, The Day Before had a very interesting announcement, so to say, because it's coming from a indie developer who has had an interesting track record before. Um, and yeah, like they showed some early gameplay trailers for it back in 2021, and it looked a little bit too good to be true. It looked like a very pretty uh Tom Clancy's The Division, and it looked actually really pretty. It looked very good, but it wasn't like live gameplay or anything. It looked too. Let me put it this way: it looked too good to be true, right? Um, so the developer, I think the developer's called Future, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to pull it up here. Why is it not in the article? Anyway, so the developer kind of like, they released some footage for the game um in the early announcements, um and they were set to release the game last year. That obviously didn't happen because they ended up delaying the game to, what was it again? Oh yeah, upgraded to Unreal Engine 5. And they said it would take them 6 months to do it. So the new release date would have been March. March is literally around the corner, and we haven't seen hide nor hair or heard anything from it since. The initial delay was announced to port it to Unreal Engine 5. Despite the fact that they haven't shown anything since 2001 um, about the game, which is already like something that would raise red flags with anybody. So yeah, time passes, we still hear nothing, and there was supposed to be a new gameplay trailer drop coming the end of like January. And it obviously didn't happen. Instead, what happened was that the shop's listing on Steam got pulled out of the blue, no warning whatsoever. It got pulled. When trying to figure things out, they released a statement. The developer, Fantastic, so I was right, uh, stated that, oh, yeah, it's like a bug in Steam, which is apparently common. Sure. And they're like, okay, yeah, it'll be up in a couple hours. Cool. People waited, nothing happened. And then in a later interview, no, in a later statement, it came to light, at least according to them. Oh yeah, so we had to take it down because of copyright for the title, which makes no sense. Because if you're going to announce a game with a title, not a project title, but a title, why would you then not copyright it? Like before you even announce the game, right? Super, super duper weird. Anyway, They say they did it, but the person who copyrighted the name copyright filed the claim 4 months after the game was announced, and they didn't file a copyright until September or something of last year, October, like no, August. It was August, sorry. August of last year, which is weird cuz you already announced the game like a year prior and you're only registering it a year later. And in that process, usually what happens is you get a notification of, hey, these are the entities that are also using this name. Maybe not in the same capacity, but it is something that has been trademarked before. Just a little heads up. That's how it normally works, right? Right. Thing is, they suddenly come now in January saying that, oh yeah, January 19th, we got a notice that the trademark was already filed by someone else, and now this person wants to negotiate with them about the name use. Okay, super weird that it took 6 or so months to get to that point. So that's why they were um it was going to take some time to come out, and they delayed the game to November 10th. Again, different update. Cool. A little weird that it would take this long, but okay. Then they put out another update saying that, oh yeah, yeah, we were going to delay the game anyways. So yeah, it's delayed. It's delayed still, but we were gonna delay it anyway. So cool. We cool? No, you're not cool. How the heck do you go from just having the thing yanked off the store, saying that it was a technical thing, and then all the way come to we were gonna take it we were gonna delay the game anyways. It still doesn't explain why it's still not back on the store, although that could be about the copyright infringement of the trade, or sorry, the trademark infringement, not copyright. That's a different thing. But it's kind of weird. And also, because of this, they ended up not showing the gameplay footage, which is even more weirder. They could have just said, "Oh, like we're gonna show the footage anyways, but now we're gonna show it under like a working title." They literally could have made it any working title. They could have called it Project Google Gaga Gooby Doo, and it would have made no difference if they showed the gameplay footage. Because the point is, you were there to show the footage of the game. So why don't you just do it instead of delaying it, not saying a single word, and just being like, okay, it's gone. We said it. It's still coming. Believe me. Trust. We want your money. No, that's not how that works. People, that's not how that works. You know how that works like? That works if it's a grift or if it's just vaporware. Maybe they're trying to maybe they're trying to get some attention, maybe they're trying to get some funding. I don't know. But what I do know is that I don't think this game is going to come out in November at all. If it does, uh I don't know. I'll play another Fatal Frame game on stream for a month. Um, Not gonna happen because I don't think this game is real, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people at this point don't think it's real either because it's just been super duper shady. I mean, if you're wanting to drum up investment in your company, that's fine. Like make a prototype or something, or say it's a tech demo. Look, nobody's gonna bat an eye and like say like, "Oh, you made a tech demo, you suck." There's no shame in that. But what doesn't make sense is for you to then announce this as a full game and then not have the trademark to the name of the game and then just proceed to like show off footage that is either a vertical slice or something made to drum up attention and like that's it. I don't know. We'll see. I do not believe that that game is coming out. It is super weird. Um, Game looked too good to be true, anyways. Come on, let's be real here. Let's be real here. Um, yeah. So I just kind of wanted to get that story out of the way because it's not like we haven't seen stuff like this before, right? I mean, we've seen stuff like this before. Most recently, we saw it with Abandoned, which was its own like super weird, random vaporware thing, which I don't even know if you could call it vaporware because all they showed were essentially tech demo-y stuff as well. And the whole thing about, and then the whole subversion and trying to steer into the skid of, oh, we're making something that has an S and an H in it, and people all speculating that it's gonna be a new Silent Hill and it's actually Hideo Kojima and blah 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 blah. Like that one spun out of control so fast that yeah, like one has to wonder what kind of pitch they put forth to PlayStation to have them be a showcase title in their event to announce their project, right? That one still didn't happen. I don't think it'll ever will happen. There's that. Um yeah, so the next thing on the list is we recently had Xbox and Bethesda teaming up and doing a developer direct. And honestly, this is probably the best presentation they have done by far. Concerning like showing off like game updates and stuff like that. Please, Microsoft, do more of this because this is actually presentable, followable, interesting, and looks good. So yeah, they talked about a bunch of games. They gave us a bunch of updates. One of the updates, the first update that they gave us was for Minecraft Legends, which is like this tower defensey kind of tactics game with like multiplayer PvP. I watched that presentation like 2 times, 3 times. I still kind of don't get it, like at all. Maybe it's just me. It looks fun, and it's gonna be on Game Pass, so I will try it out there anyways. But it's coming to pretty much every platform. So if you're not like on Xbox or you're not in their ecosystem, you can still play it. You know, it's gonna come out on Switch. It's gonna come out on PlayStation. It's gonna come out on PC, so you don't have to worry about that. If you want to learn more about it, I would say look up the yeah, the gameplay trailer and the developer talk that they had during the event to learn more about the game's multiplayer. I still can't wrap my head around it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. The other game thing that they gave us an update on was Forza. Uh, Forza Motorsport. I want to say it's Forza Horizon. I meant Forza Motorsport. It doesn't have a number. It doesn't have a number. It it is by far the most interesting thing that they've shown. It looks very nice. It looks very crisp. It looks exciting. It sounds really good. Um, it sounds super duper good. I wonder. I mean, I don't have to wonder because I already know that the car fanatics were chomping at the bit for that one, and I'm glad for them. Super exciting for them. Um, I hope they enjoy it. Again, I mean, if you want to try it out, it's probably going to be on Game Pass as well when it comes out later this year. They showed off more of Redfall as well. They showed off some multiplayer stuff. They kind of explained that it's not Left for Dead, or at least their take on Left for Dead. But it's something else. It's more like a co-op adventure thing in first person. And yeah, it looks. I mean, it looks fine. It looks interesting. Uh, like they showed off the mission structure and like how the areas work, and you have to like capture areas and yeah, you capture areas by defeating mini bosses. you defeat a bunch of mini bosses, and then you get the area boss, and then you do defeat the area boss to capture that area, which kind of reminds me of early Saints Row, where you had to take on like the gangs like by their territory, and then once you have like disrupted their whole flow more than enough, then you can like take on like the head of the cartel, and then when you win, you claim their territory, stuff like that. It seems that like that, but with vampires. Um, so make of that what you will. I guess I'll check it out when it comes out. I think that's actually going to come out in on May 2nd. So May is going to look interesting because May is also when Tears of the Kingdom comes out. So I know there's probably not a lot of overlap between like first person like multiplayer fans and people who like classic action adventure style games. I would imagine that that's the case, right? That there's no overlap. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But wait, I almost forgot. They also talked about Elder Ring. Sorry, Elder Ring. Elder Scrolls Online. Elden Ring. Elder Scrolls Online. Their new expansion coming out. Um, I'm assuming people are hyped for it. I have never touched that game. I know it's free to play. I know it's on Game Pass. Maybe someday I'll check it out. But yeah, I mean, they talked about the new stuff. They talked about a new class that's going to be added. So if you are excited about that, then that's great. That's fantastic. More power to you. And I hope you enjoy the expansion, which is coming out in a few months. The last thing that what it wasn't the last thing that they talked about, but I'm talking about it last because it was a surprise announcement. Nobody knew about this game called Hi-Fi Rush. Oh my gosh. When I saw that, I was like, this is crazy. And then I saw who made it, and it's like Tango Gameworks, the makers of The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo. And I'm like, really? Okay. This kind of reminds me stylistically of Sunset Overdrive, but at the same time, also stylistically reminds me of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, especially when it comes to the animation. It is very like comic booky, and it looks very cool. Like the artwork is really popping. I love it so much. I like they showed it off, and the best thing is, a few hours later, you could play it on your Xbox or on your PC, or you could buy it on Steam. They just shadow dropped it. And I don't think Microsoft has ever done a shadow drop like this before. I kind of hope they do more of it, and it's more games like this, because this looks dope as hell. And I played it actually on stream, and it was dope as hell. I love this game. Like it, this I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, Hi-Fi Rush, rhythm action 3D platformer where you fight your enemies to the rhythm of the beat, and you have to time your button presses to the beat to land a combo, which I originally thought that something like this would be very difficult to pull off without making concessions, but they kind of didn't really make concessions. The great thing is, of course, they have streamer mode, so instead of having the licensed music that's on there, you can play it in streamer mode so that you can stream it and like post the VOD on your like socials and on your YouTube channel without being worried that it's gonna get copyright struck, which is nice. And like the original music that they made for this also sounds nice. I haven't listened to the soundtrack that they put together with like the licensed music yet. Although I do know there are some big hitters in there that I saw when they showed off the game. It looks really cool. I was super excited. I am super excited. I want to play more of it. I'll definitely be playing more of it, and I'll definitely stream more of it because it is hype as hell. So yeah, Hi-Fi Rush, super cool game that they just decided to drop. And those are the 5 games that they talked about in the Xbox Bethesda Developer Direct. I really hope they do more of these, where they also do like shadow drops, and hopefully they have more titles to show off because they haven't had a lot to show off last year. I think they released 5 games that were like made by Microsoft Studios developers. Like that's it. So I hope that things will be good. Although if the rumors are to be believed, dang it, Redfall and Starfield might release undercooked. This is a rumor from a leaker, so take it with the biggest grain of salt. Because apparently I didn't notice this. It happened somewhere on the internet, but this leaker also before Hi-Fi Rush was announced, leaked that Hi-Fi Rush was a thing. I didn't see these reports before. To be fair, I usually don't go looking for rumors because rumors can either lead to spoiling something and then it kind of takes away the fun, but also sometimes it could be informative, like this one. So it's kind of a tightrope. So again, take it with a grain of salt. Um, so yeah, apparently the state of Starfield and Redfall is not looking great exceptionally. If they were to release it at the times that they're going to be releasing it, it would apparently be undercooked, according to this leaker. Um, and you know what? I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that because as we've seen over the past couple of years, that developers and publishers have been doing this more and more, where they release a game that is completely underbaked and then patch it for like a year until it's completed. I mean, Battlefield 2042, Cyberpunk 2077, even Nintendo got into this, like with Nintendo's Switch Sports, which didn't get like the full set of sports available until the end of the year, like 6 months after the game was released. So yeah, actually no, 9 months after it was released because they had to delay it from summer to like fall. The update for golf. So yeah, like I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't like the way the game industry is going. I really hope that they I really hope that this doesn't become a thing that severely underbaked games are released. That would very much be disappointing if that was the case. Um, Other good, well, it's not even like, but it is a rumor. So again, do take it with a grain of salt. But this is a rumor that has some legs because apparently the website markers for Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Advance Wars 1 plus 2 have been changed to make them ready for Nintendo to like announce pre-orders. This happened recently, and this is something that they've done before in the past with games where the pre-orders would go live. They change their their values on the website in the web code, so you won't. It's not something that you can see unless you check the web code for it. And people are saying there might be a direct this February. I'm hoping so because the last direct was, I think, in October or November. And that was even that one. I think it was in Indie World showcase. Not an I think the actual direct was in September. The actual last proper direct was in September, and yeah, like that would be nice because they have postponed Advanced Wars 1 Part 2 Reboot Camp for a year now because of a certain uh, conflict, which is weird because there were other titles that got released anyways. I mean, we got a new Call of Duty, for crying out loud, last year on schedule. I don't know why Nintendo is being so overly cautious. It could also be that they looked at their release calendar and were like, "Yikes, we might not have like a lot in the back end. Let's just hang back and see how the year goes." There also have been rumors that Nintendo doesn't really have anything beyond Tears of the Kingdom. Who's to say? I don't know. I do not work at Nintendo. Nintendo, if you're listening, I am available. But I don't know how that works. I don't know what they're doing, but I do know that if it comes out, I will be the very first to pick up Advance Wars 1 Plus 2 Reboot Cap because I've been waiting so long for this game. I just want this game already. I want this game so bad that I started playing the original Advance Wars, the original version, on Game Boy Advance again. That is how badly I want this reboot. It is a very good game. If you haven't checked it out before, when this game comes out, it's 100% recommend from me. Pick it up. It is a fun game, has some fun characters, has some fun tactical gameplay where you play with like your army as like the CEO against another army and their CEO, and you have your own set of CEO powers and you do some cool tactical stuff. It is really fun, fun characters, fun dialogue, something to definitely put on your radar. Of course, Tears of the Kingdom. Most people are anticipating that as one as well. I'm pretty sure that the pre-orders are going to go through the gosh darn roof, um, and it's probably going to be the best-selling Zelda title since Breath of the Wild. At least that's my suspicions of it. There is a few more things that I want to talk about before I sign off. Uh, for those that are into the Lord of the Rings, remember the Gollum game that got announced a couple of years ago? And got delayed after they showed it off to the press for the first time because it looked rough. And let me tell you, I saw the footage. Yeah, that game looked very rough. So, that was apt. Um, yeah, they delayed it again to polish it up um, a little bit more. So instead of now, it's coming out somewhere April at the earliest. And it could be later than that. It could be as late as September, which is, I mean, yes. How much is that? Because we're like at the end of January now. So if we don't count January, it's February, March, April. It's 3 months away. So at least another 6 to 7 months. Okay, I hope that helps. They can use all the time they need to do that. You know what they say? If you release a game early and it sucks, it's probably not going to pick up any momentum anymore. But if you delay it and it comes out and it's the best it can be, hey, you might actually have a chance of getting your audience back and getting the excitement back for that as well. The last thing that I want to talk about before I sign off for this week's episode, for those of you that remember the 90s and remember the good old days of playing GoldenEye on your big or little CRTV, probably in a dorm somewhere or at your friend's place, or maybe you had a copy yourself, you played the multiplayer, you played Odd Job, you played with the Golden Gun mode, you took on the dam so many times that you could speedrun it in your sleep. Yeah, it's back on Nintendo Switch and on your Xbox. So yeah, if you want to, you can get it. If you have Game Pass, it's on there. If you have the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack, it's on there as well. Word to the wise, look up some controller settings for the Switch version. I haven't played the Xbox one, so I don't know if they modernized the controls themselves. I'll let you know when I have the chance to do so. On the Switch, though, it's kind of janky if you don't have the N64 wireless controller from Nintendo, which is impossible to get from their website. And I would be wary of the secondhand market because they might mark it up till the cows come home. But There are some handy tutorials online by places like Game Explain that put up a tutorial on how to get your optimized controls so that it actually controls like a modern day shooter, and so that you can enjoy GoldenEye as it is intended. It is in widescreen. The Xbox version actually has 4K support, but no online multiplayer. The Switch version does support uh, multiplayer with other people, up to 4 people. So that's a thing. And I think that is gonna be it for now. I'm gonna wrap it up nice and tight with a nice little bow. I will be back in 2 weeks. Also, keep an eye out on the YouTube channel for Game Rivals, where I will soon debut the Hidden Gems shorts that you can find there whenever I am able to crank those out. But from me, Maximilian X, uh, I will see you again in 2 weeks. And as always, I have been Maximilian X, and I'll see you all next time. Later.